and 1,000 police officers going into Manhattan.
Right.
You know, and not even there. I can remember on 9/11 sitting in my office listening to New York City asking for help, and we were sending police officers down there, and then you could see on television that they were getting applauded, and it was like, oh,
yeah.
you know.
I remember driving into Manhattan on September 12th at night after a shift to go work at Ground Zero, and the line of people that were standing by with banners, homemade sandwiches in brown bags. They were handing it out to us.
Right.
Thank you for what you do.
Right.
And it was just the most eerie feeling going into the city of lights that didn't have one light lit. But here were all these people handing out food and thanks and graciousness to us for what we did, or what we do. And, you know, we did it before 9/11. We did it on 9/11. We've done it after 9/11. That's what police...
Is that a bruise on your face?
We run into situations where everybody else runs out. And it's unfortunate that it
everybody
takes
else runs out?
a tragedy
For people to understand.
You wish.
that.
Right, absolutely.
This is called egomania.
So you mentioned too, with
and
the
by the
federal
way, the
government
City of
getting
Lights is
more funds
Paris.
and so on. So do you think over time that there's just been much more
The City of Lights.
federal government, state government, trying to help?
This is a guy who, I get the impression, I'm going out on a limb here, has never left the city of Peekskill. Has he ever been outside of the state of New York? Did he go to college? He probably went to college. I used to think he has to be intelligent. And a few times I thought, yeah. I mean, how could he not be sharp? Overseeing an entire police department. But anyone who would waste any time being vindictive and bullying a fat, aging woman with a cane who has begged for years to have it explained to her, what the fuck did I do? Way before YouTube was even invented, way before I filmed any police not being the heroes that you would expect, claim that they are. My theory is I don't know. I actually used to believe that it makes sense for a small town to have people that are from there, that know the area best, know the people, know how to maintain without going overboard, and do right by the most people. But the way this man has gone after me, I mean, it's not like he's gone after me, but a little bit. And I will never forget Bikram saying to me, I did a background check on you. When he said that, I don't even know what a fucking background check involves. You know, you think background check. There are companies, they're friends with the FBI, it never even occurred to me that it starts at one's local police department. And I think I heard that recently somewhere, and it started to make sense that if Bikram did a background check on me, the first place he's going to go is Peekskill. And I said to Joe Hansen, please be sympathetic. When they took the dog from me and I went to the city council, he was there that night, and I really thought I was having a heart-to-heart with him, and I looked him in the eye and I said, this has been done to me unfairly for more years than I can count. And it seems to perpetuate itself. It's like a self-fueling phenomenon. People hate you, and as soon as someone has a need to get over on you or have their way, you know, just like what happened to me with the yoga studio. I pissed off the wrong person. They had a beautiful German girl coming in, and they, you know, she had a lot of money. They wanted to bring her in because she could afford to move the business to buy. She has just bought a big, beautiful location, second one that she's like renovated even. I mean, she worked at Microsoft. I mean, she's got a lot of money. Money talks. That's why Trump is so popular. Money is what it's about. And we can all forgive each other a little bit for that sad reality. But when a police officer who has everything he needs but has no scruples, has no ability to really weigh in the balance right and wrong, because if I'm supposed to pretend that I'm the bad guy in a building full of pimps, heroin addicts, crackheads, prostitutes, gun dealer, I mean, is it an exaggeration to call Mark a gun dealer? He went to jail for 2 years for selling a gun. I shouldn't have to tell a long story to explain what that monster, I mean, people that don't have hearts, that are charismatic one minute and can schmooze you into believing that they've changed and maybe will turn out to be contributing members of a community, but they're not. All right, what am I talking about now? The City of Lights.
On my program, and
My pleasure.
you know, I didn't have a chance to. Joe decided at one point he didn't want any more honors, so I brought him a citation.
The City of Lights. How many police reports, fake police reports, that have accompanying video? There's no contest. I can prove what is untrue. I can prove that a cop perjured himself in the stand over a traffic ticket, and he'll have his buddy's support. For Johansson to say I'm going to be put in a blotter entry because I sent an email to the city clerk where I was upset because she made me sound like a crazy person because I was crying about a puppy, begging people not to bully me anymore, to ask, does this have something to do with a lawsuit from 20 years ago when I tried to sue the NYPD for what happened down there? I mean, the Thin Blue Line. I mean, I'm speculating, but no one will have a discussion with me. They've just chosen to put me in harm's way. When I have this giant pig of a man who talks to his friends, his women friends, I won't call them prostitutes, about how much they can make if they take it up the ass. I mean, I hear these things, and when I record it, I go out my hallway and I hear this conversation. And I record it thinking, it's not me. Who wants to be friends with this? What kind of Catholic school teacher befriends someone who encourages his women friends to go make $80 getting fucked up the ass? How does she go teach a bunch of second graders or whatever age they are at Christ the King School in the Bronx? How does a person like that live with themselves? Yeah, I spend way too much time recording these idiots, and I tell myself, okay, it's not a waste of time because one day I'm going to make sense of it, put it all together, maybe even with a sense of humor, find a little comic relief after it's all over. But the abuse, I mean, when you compare with the people around me, how they mentally torture me and laugh about it, think it's fun. I've demonstrated this by recording it. You compare that, their priorities with what television media news would tell us is going on in the world, we're fucked. People are stupid. Everybody in this building, they don't know the difference between the word apartment building and department building. I mean, even the city council guy, what did he just say a minute ago? With these types of information. You know what I mean? He's like, it's like anyone that graduates from Peekskill High School can't. The mayor even talks like that sometimes. I mean, we're all capable of, fucking up a little bit here and there as we choose our words, but there is a lack of intelligence. Oh, that's what I wanted to say about the City of Lights. That I went back and I looked at the archived footage when I gave a framed photograph, not a great photograph, I admit, but I didn't have a lot of film at the time, and I just took a shot of angry Arabic graffiti on the walls of my university at Saint Denis. almost 30 years ago. So when I see, and that this was 2013, and it was supposed to be, without getting into it, it was just after the guy's friend died. I think I just said this somewhere. And the chief of police's good friend, a detective, had died because he had breathed in all this shit at 9/11, and so they get all gung-ho about going after the bad guy that the media puts on the TV, rather than think what this cop is doing to me is kind of what the U.S. does to disenfranchised people in other countries, but much worse. I mean, when people are losing their families, being killed unjustly for what? That makes someone turn into a monster. Luckily, I'm a little more level-headed than that, but I can see what's being done to me, and I'm fighting back with my videos, as messy and crazy as they are. These videos are what's keeping me out of the clutches of this small-minded, small-town big dick moron. All right, I'm not going to call him a moron because it is not my intention to bring this guy after me in any way. I don't want trouble with him. However, I am afraid of him. I used to think I could... Oh, that was the whole point of giving him this framed photograph of the graffiti. I was trying to say, I am a conscientious... I definitely did just say this, I think, in another recording. I apologize for repeating myself, but an intelligent person that pays attention. So why would you want to diminish what I am capable of, what I was capable of bringing to this community 15 years ago? Got cut off at the legs because Pam McNair wanted to say, who does she think she is? She's all that. Like, whatever, these things that I've recorded when I try to make sense of it all. Your son stole my bike brakes. Oh, yeah? Well, I know the cops. And I'm going to have the cops come to your door, motherfucker. I'm going to fuck you up. they're idiots. They're fucking idiots. They're not scary. They're fucking stupid. They're dangerous because they're stupid. And I used to think that people could change. And maybe they can over millennia. But in my lifetime, this is how I'm going to go out. Trying to be honest. Call a spade a spade. I don't know if that came out right. But the point is, I'm going to call it like it is. And when I gave this photograph, I was trying to say, this was the day after the Marine barracks was bombed in Germany. I was in Paris and I saw this angry graffiti written the next day. I took a picture of it. I tried to have it translated. No one could ever translate it for me. On 9/11, I took it down to a couple of people that wouldn't, or said they didn't know it was a Persian or whatever. And my point was, his friend was a Marine who had died. And they're so patriotic and gung-ho and all of that. I was like, let me be the good person I was meant to be and appreciate my intelligence, my consciousness, my willingness to forgive. And here is a gesture of, a small one. It was a cheap plastic frame from the dollar store because I knew he would throw it away. But I wanted to say, and here's a painting. I have talents that I would like to share with my community. And here we are 2 years later when the bombs went off in Paris. The first thing I thought was Saint-Denis because there was a huge, angry Arabic community there for 30 years. There's another one, I can't remember what they call it. I want to say Le Marseille, but no, that's not it. I can't remember. And I'm not saying that the French know to go to Saint-Denis. They know that too. But I'm just saying, with all that's going on in the world, when you have this guy on a show like Sandy Galiff's talking about, how have things changed after 9/11? Well, there's more money, he says. Yeah, more money. Is there more intelligence?